Where it never fails to amuse me, just like hitting record on the phone, just filming yourself. It's funny. Just looking at yourself on the camera. Not knowing. Something I struggle with. Not as it relates to not knowing like what's happening sort of externally in my life, what's going to happen, where am I going, like where's this going to lead, like not so much that. Internally, I have this need almost to kind of know and to understand what I'm experiencing internally, to be able to make sense of everything as it relates to kind of what's happening in my body, my mind, my emotions, my kind of wider experience. Yeah, and I'm not as bad as I used to be, nowhere near as bad as I used to be. Like, I used to be very much just like, if I didn't know something, like, do you mean that would consume me, and I'd be trying to figure it out, and I'd just be locked in my mind, just like, thinking this, and just like, to be fair, if I reflect back on that, like, I'm much better than I used to be. Like, I don't sort of, yeah, I'm much better at dealing with not knowing, but that's still, that part is still there. And I know, like, that part of me comes from a place of my sense of worth, being attached to this idea that I know myself, that I understand myself, that I know what's going on within me and can make sense of it all. I think, yeah, at a certain point, this must have been, I don't know, a while ago, I developed that idea of like that idea of myself as someone who knows themselves, you know. And if you carry that part of you that feels worthless, and I think most of us in this society, to some varying degree, carry that within us, and it gets sort of displayed and exhibited in different ways. I don't think there's many among us who got through childhood without picking up some sort of wound of worthlessness, you know. And yeah, as I say, that manifests in different ways, and we'll then look for ways to kind of prove to ourselves that no, we do have worth. Like, no, we're okay. Like, we're all right. We're good people. Like, you know. And you see that, like, that's very common. That's very common. You know, this is what, like, if we're talking about people being egotistical, or people sort of like, or the opposite side of it being like sort of judgmental and derogatory towards others, I think all of that is connected to this underlying sense, this underlying feeling, this sort of unconscious belief that we carry of we're worthless. You know, I know that's definitely been the case for me when I've sort of delved in to these things and looking at the root, getting to the root of that. All of those things that I just mentioned, you know, it's these underlying sense of like, oh, actually, I think I'm worthless. And so now I'm looking for ways to prove that I'm not. I'm looking for ways to prove that I'm better than you because that makes me feel better. And like, you know, because I know myself, see, I understand what's going on. Yeah, so with all of that, I built up that kind of idea that like, you know, I know myself. And so like, when that gets challenged, when I don't know what's going on, when I can't make sense of what's going on, that's obviously triggering that thing of like, oh, I'm worthless. And so you don't want that, so you're like trying to sort of like figure it out. Like, I need to have it figured out, I need to get it sussed, like I need to know what is going on. And yeah, as I say, like, that's loosened a lot over the last number of years since I kind of like processed all of those sort of underlying feelings of worthlessness. Did a lot of processing of that, and that, like, yeah, very much changed my experience with those different parts of me. But it's still there, and as sort of been brought up again this last month with the situation I've been in, this last month of very much not knowing what the fuck is going on with my body. Like, I've been having issues with my body, with my joints in particular, been the main problem. Yeah, and I had I had a week where I could barely move. Like, so basically, I had flu. I had flu and was like fucked for a week, and then like got gout. Started like, and I've had gout like sort of every now and then for the last couple of years. Maybe just flares up in my foot a little bit, and I'll be like fucked for a day or two, but then it's fine. But it kind of like it started spreading to all like other joints, my other, like my ankle and my other foot, and then like my knees and elbows. And so I was struggling, like I was struggling to walk, and then like all of a sudden, I don't know, and this is the thing, I don't know what happened and why, but like all of a sudden it all just got like way worse, and then all like my hips and my shoulders and everything started aching, but it was like the pain in the joints, which I think was from the gout, which was like making it difficult to walk, but then it was also then my muscles started getting all fucked, like my legs, my hips and my shoulders and my neck and even my jaw, like just opening my jaw. It was like and so for a week I ended up being able to like hardly move. Like, I had to crawl to the toilet one night because it was just like, just couldn't, like, you know, it's just too much pain to try and say it was impossible. I couldn't, like, you know. And I just didn't know what was going on, obviously. Yeah, and then it was kind of interesting the way the whole thing's developed and played out of like, I happened to starting to see a acupuncturist, like, as that was happening, because I wanted to like just do stuff to do with my lungs, but obviously we were addressing that situation at the time. And then yeah, she was saying about having like a severe yin deficiency, and I like, through my friend Grace, shout out Grace, is sort of loosely familiar with traditional Chinese medicine and some of the concepts. Like, she'll speak to me a lot about it all. But yeah, it's a whole new world and a whole new way of looking at things. It's better, and a whole new way of understanding what is happening within the body. Whereas like, I'm always like overly, probably in some cases, overly like focused on the emotional connection and root to whatever I'm experiencing in the body. And that plays a big part for sure, but definitely I can lean too far into that. And so it was interesting because I could see like the kind of emotional stuff that was happening within me that I felt to be linked to what I was experiencing with the gout and everything. But like, yeah, and then it was just this whole new way of looking at things, which I didn't really have any understanding of, but it seemed like the more it's kind of progressed over these last couple of weeks, the more I'm like, it's like, oh, that kind of makes sense, and I can see that, and like blah blah blah, and it kind of, it's like that this yin deficiency kind of explains a lot of the different symptoms I'm having. Like, all my skin's been really dry and like peeling, I'm just like fucking peeling everywhere. Yeah, and other joints obviously, and what was it, other stuff, there's been other stuff. But yeah, apparently that can all be sort of explained by having a severe yin deficiency, and so I need to replenish my yin, and that kind of all makes sense. Like, you know, like I probably am very yang, which is funny because I've never thought myself like that. I've always thought myself quite like in the feminine aspects myself, like underdeveloped in certain masculine traits, which is funny because that had been something I'd kind of been like addressing and working with over this last year. But yeah, maybe I was plenty yang as it was. and this all sort of ties in as well to all of the emotional work as well, and all the intense kind of emotional processes and journeys I've been through over the last years, but then more specifically over the last few months. It's been a lot, it's been heavy, it's been intense, and that's probably had an effect. But that's just something that's left me kind of just like, wow, well, I don't know then as well, because my whole sort of navigation system is built around like this whole process with emotions and how that relates to healing from cystic fibrosis and everything. So it's all just like, so it's all just everything that's happened is kind of just shaking everything up a bit, you know. And it's just a bit like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what the best thing to do about it is. Like, I've prayed so many times over this last like few weeks, like yeah, it's been interesting. It's been learning. It's been a lot of growth. It's been a lot of big shifts in kind of my way of experiencing, relating to different aspects of myself. Yeah, everything's just been shaken up a bit. And yeah, as I say, definitely handle that a lot better now than I used to. I'm definitely a lot better at just, you know, okay, surrendering. And it's been a big lesson in surrender. Like, it's been a big sort of having to let go of control and the idea of control, the illusion of control, and just trusting the process. And rather than trying to figure things out, because I was still doing this, I was trying to make sense of everything, like, but like, you know, trying to sort of like piece together like my old sort of perspectives and ways of viewing things with this new information, and like trying to make it all make sense and work together. But at the end of the day, fuck knows, like, you know, I don't know. And since I've just sort of surrendered, just trying to figure it all out, yeah, it's a lot easier. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm feeling a lot more chilling and just surrendering to the process. Like, all of my joints are very slowly getting better. Like, it's for some reason, I don't know what's happened. I don't know if this is just part of this yin deficiency, which takes a while to replenish. And that's if you're doing all the right things. But yeah, it's just a very slow process of bringing my sort of joints back to mobility and strength and health, and like just bit by bit, just tiny kind of improvement every day. Like, when I'm stretching, I can just getting a little bit more strength back. Like, I started doing downward dog again the other day for like the first time I've been able to do that, like, because my wrists and my shoulders were just so all my strength is coming back, and I'm just, yeah, I'm in a good place of my mindset around it now is in a much better place. I'm very much just, cool, this is an opportunity to just build my body back more strong, more vital, more balanced than it was before. And it's interesting because these are issues with my body that I've probably needed to address, and have known I've needed to address, and have done somewhat, but not to the extent that I've needed to. I've needed to address these issues with my mobility and my joints and different things. And this is very much forcing me to. So, yeah. Don't know where I'm going with all that. But it's been pretty cool. It was rough, like those couple of weeks where I just couldn't move much. Because that's something I struggle with as well, like, you know, probably because I got all that yang in me of like, I need to like doing stuff. So that was a good lesson in just slowing down. And yeah, now I'm just trying to get into my yin. I'm trying to be soft, flowy, receptive. Trying to be less like, more just yinned out. Do I look yin? I'm pretty yin, right? Got the fucking Indian throws behind me and that little floor sofa. Yinned out. Yeah, I think that's about it. Funny, in these videos. I don't know. Have a wicked one. Yeah. Bye bye.